What's up, guys? How are you guys doing today? What's up, guys? How are you guys doing today? We have 1 minute to open. We have 1 minute to open. Okay, guys, the market's open and not too much volume, surprisingly. That is kind of concerning. It's usually right at open. It's either selling off or coming down immediately, and yeah, that is concerning. I don't want this to be another choppy day. Since like about 3 a.m. it's been choppy in the ES. Same thing with the NQ. Just bouncing around. Yeah, that is concerning. I don't want this to be another choppy day. It's like about 3 a.m. it's been choppy in the ES. Same thing with the NQ. Just bouncing around. Okay, now we're getting a nice little flush on the NQ. Okay, now we're getting a nice little flush on the NQ. I'm very unbiased today. And then you can look at the ES volume, not really high. Although there's a lot of orders on deck, it's not moving. ES is pushing up, but NQ is really struggling. have to do with some of the tech stocks. Let me see how they opened up. Apple opened up green. Nvidia's gonna pump up. That'd be a nice option play today if it can break the opening range the first 15 minutes. Okay, this is a nice big pump from 19 to 24. Okay. Okay guys, this is what I'm talking about when you're watching the dome. It says 32.25. There's 1,000 orders just laying there. That means somebody really wants to get short at 32.25 because that is a lot of contracts, especially for sitting. So we'll see if we can break through that because that is heavy. And as of right now, we couldn't break through it. We touched it, but... And now, see how it disappeared? That's why I tell you guys, like, the dome is not that reliable. It's always better to understand what the candle is doing and understanding how the candle is forming. That tells you the general direction. Because sometimes what happens, just like now, people put those orders in just to either, mess with the algos, the AIs that trade, or just to fake people out that are consistently just looking at the dome. They'll put it right here, like put 1,000 orders right here, but then when price is getting closer, they'll cancel their order and then buy and then let it pump up and then catch all the short sellers. Nice, this is a big pump. I put a buy stop order right above the opening candle just to see, let's see if we can break through it. Because we did get our signal on the algo and our measured move is gonna be, let's see, it's a big candle, so we can see at least to 32.35. So I'll make that my second, I'll make it to 34. Take one off at 2 points and then another one off about what, 7 points? Yeah, around 7 points. Let's see if there's any good news happening right now, because I'm kind of confused on why it's not just pumping up. Let's see. Well, that's not good. Coronavirus updates. California, Florida, Texas report record high. Futures mostly updates. Okay, so today, I forgot to mention, is at 2 p.m., Jerome Powell, obviously the Fed, is going to make a statement. So most likely after that, you will see a lot of swings where either to the upside or downside, depending on what they say. But that's why we only have such a slight movement up, because people are predicting it to be good, because they're thinking, one, obviously they're planning on the second stimulus, which will help, and then as well as maybe an additional bailout for a little bit of companies, or just providing more unemployment benefits or rate cuts. So we're gonna have to see. But right now it's not looking good for us. If it's not gonna break through, if it's just gonna struggle like this, I'm gonna be canceling my order, because we have to stick to our plan, and that's it. And our plan is simply, once we get our signal on our algo, we place our order a tick above the high if we're going long, and a tick below if we're going short. And that's where we look to enter. As of right now, the buyers are looking pretty weak, because they are not being able to push up. Let's look at a couple of stocks at the moment. In the meantime, I believe Tesla had their earnings yesterday. Tesla is pumping up a little bit, but not too much. Because ever since it hit like that 1792 point, it's just been going down since then. Let's see if we can get a nice support and see if we can go to the upside again. Buyers are finally stepping back in. Let's see if we can break our opening high. Price is still buffering around, but it's not trying to drop down, so let's see. Yeah, this is just a slow week, guys. Just gotta be patient. We can see right here the buyers are trying to be in control, but it's becoming a struggle. looking at a higher time frame right now, just the 1 hour charts, and we are still in like a slight downtrend. So I'm trying to see if we can break above it and make a nice move, but I think this week the main determination will be all the earnings calls on Thursday, because I know a lot of the big companies have earnings on that day, so that's probably why market's kind of slowed down a little bit and just indecisive on which direction it wants to go. But we'll see a big push after Thursday to either side, honestly. I have no control over the earnings, so I can't predict that. Yeah, this is just complete chop, and the candles are just staying inside each one, so it's like kind of creating like a pennant. So essentially where that is like kind of like a little triangle, right? So it's just forming downwards, kind of flat. So it's quite interesting to see that. On the NQ, I might look to buy at around the 10.50, 10.550 mark. And yes, I don't know. We can wait for the break of 32.2750 and buy it there, or try to find like a little bounce off the 200 EMA and the WEWOP, yep. Always mess that up for some reason. And then trying to see how it's gonna work out, because this is a very interesting formation. Because you don't see like candles forming like this like that often, like especially on the ES. So yeah, to Mustafa's point, it is a bad day for buyers and sellers, because to me it looks like just consolidation where price is just moving up and down. You can clearly see that on the ES, green candle, red candle, green candle, red candle, because nobody's really in control. What we're waiting for is a momentum move. That's where we make our money, and at this point there is no momentum. People are just going back and forth, just like the past 2 days, where they just can't decide if they want to push the market up, do they want to push the market down. And this tends to happen, especially since today is the day where Powell speaks about like what the Fed's going to be doing. Is there going to be rate cuts? What's happening? And then as well as the stimulus packages, we'll see some news about that. So most likely after 2 o'clock, 2:30, that's when we can see a nice push. But normally right now it's kind of just chilling around and not doing much. are trying to see the break right here. Let's see if we can get in. I canceled my original order just because I wanted to break it and then come back down, and that's when I'll enter, because right now I don't feel comfortable with it. Okay, I got in at 32.27.75. Gonna try to write it out to 32.29.29.75, and then see if we can keep going. Guys, if we can break above this candle at that candle close, then I feel like this is a good move to 32.35. But I'm gonna lock in my first profit at 32.29.75. That way you can get a quick 100, and then we're trying to lock in the other 200-300 afterwards. That's probably gonna take a bit more time, but that's okay. NQ is pushing up, perfect. That's a good sign. Everything's in sync at the moment. So yeah, Bruno, on the left it's showing the NQ chart, and that's essentially the CGC don't diddle indicator, and what it essentially shows you is whenever the stock is extremely moving, and how we trade it is we just wait for the price to hit one of the top lines. So if it hits the red line over here, we're gonna look to short it for a quick scalp of like 5 points, because it happens very quickly. And then same thing, if it hits the bottom at the blue line, we'll look to buy right there, and then see if we can get it right to go up, right? They're all quick scalp plays, but in my opinion it works out pretty well. You just have to wait for the moves. But as of right now, we're only in the position of ES. I'm still waiting for it to cross and hit 32.2975 for the first profit, and then at least 32.33 for a second profit. At this point, we're just battling buyers and sellers at the moment. There's a high volume picking up at the moment, but we'll see what happens. This just looks like a slow day to me. Like, you just gotta wait it out and see what happens. Because the sellers could never break out of the opening range. So from 32.2745 to 32.20 essentially. So they could never break below that, and that's a good indication that today is planned to go to the upside. So we're gonna see what happens. I don't use NinjaTrader. I used to before, but what you could do is just try to search for it in the indicators tab, or if not, what you could do is essentially just reach out to NinjaTrader, and I'm pretty sure they'll be able to locate it for you, because like they have their own set of indicators and they probably just put it in a different section. So I would highly suggest just reach out to them and be like, hey, I'm looking for the CGC don't diddle indicator and I would like access to it, and I'm pretty sure they'll be more than happy to help you out. But this is Top Step. All I have to do is go to indicators, and then I forgot where it was. Yeah, it's called one green candle right here, and then OGC hull no diddle. And our first profit target was hit, so we did get a $100 profit right there. The first trade was just 5 minutes and 53 seconds. That was just the first contract. Now I'm just letting the other one run. My target, I assume that it's going to be going to 32.35, but I'm going to take it off at 32.33 just to be on the safe side today. And then now it's just pushing up. It's perfect. I think I'm just going to be moving my stop to break even right now. So let's see what happens. Harry, today was a breakout trade, but we also played it on our algo that I built out, so I can show you guys that right now. Here, let me just pull my screen over. I'm just waiting for 1 second. I just want to make sure my trade is going the right way because I don't want it to become a full flush to the downside. I'd rather lock in some profits real quick. Let me just break. I'll put it to $25 profit as just that way I don't lose anything. Because I know there's going to be a little pullback right now and then it'll start to go back up. But essentially this is what I kind of base my trades based off of, for the ES at least, right? At this moment, I look for the breakout as a morning candle. So this is the first 5 minutes right here. And then my algo gives me the buy alert. And then I will place an order like about 1 tick above. And then what I do from there is essentially I take the Fibonacci's, I draw them out. I use just a couple Fibonacci's. They're pretty easy settings if you guys wanted to look at them. 0, -1, -2, 1.1, -3, and 1.414. I found that they work best for me, and they give you a nice measured move of where the stock's going to be headed to, or the futures. So I base my profit targets off of that, but I always try to lock in 2 profits on the ES just because I feel like you should always just be locking in your profits at some point. And then I just let the other ones kind of run. And then when I'm trading 3 contracts, that's when I let it run like all the way. But when I'm trading 2 contracts, because of volatility right now, I try to get 1 contract, take profit at 2 points, and then the other one I'll try to reach for the first profit level and then the second profit level, depending on the market move. So there might be a slight delay in the time that you guys, I see your questions to the stream, because there's like about a 10 to 15 second delay. So just be mindful. I'm not ignoring you guys. There's just a small delay. But right now we are in profit. So I'm debating if I just want to get out, because it seems like it just wants to flush again. But I think if it can come down to 32.29, I might just take it off, but we'll see. Because I really do think that since it is a measured move, it always works kind of, and I believe it's gonna go to 32.35 at least, but it just needs to get those sellers out and then let the buyers step back in. Because normally I'm not in trades this long. I'm usually done in like about 60 seconds, but today is just one of those days. The first one itself was 5 minutes. This one's at least about to be like 10 minutes or so. I'm gonna move my stop up a little bit just to lock in some more profits. I'm gonna move it to 32.29. Because I see a good amount of support right here at 32.30, so I really want them to hold above 32.30, or else I feel like it's gonna be coming down and I don't. Again, you have to lock in your profits, right? Why would anyone want to take a loss? And if any of you guys wanted to personally chat with me, I left a Discord link below. You guys can just join my group and you guys can DM me there or talk in the chat itself. I'm very responsive and happy to help you guys. If you guys want to learn, if you guys are new or even advanced, if you guys have some more strategies or you just want to compare, I'm happy to talk with you guys. I think trading is like always like something you always have to keep learning. Continuous learning is required. Like it's part of the game. And the minute you stop learning is the minute you start failing, right? The NQ is falling a little bit, but I'm trying to see. I'm gonna move my stop up a little bit, 32.2950. Buyers are stepping in again, so we might see that nice little push. There's some good seller volume at 262.50. Sorry, not 262.50. I'm sorry, 32.33. I was looking at what my profit would be on that trade. Waiting for that little push. I'm gonna move it up even a little bit more to about 32.30, and that was the previous low, the previous candle. Now we're just fighting to break through 32.33. So yeah, Harry, the algo was designed by me. I personally didn't code it, but what I did was I hired a coder to code it for me based on all the parameters that I normally use for trading. So it's a mix of multiple indicators as well as just like personal analysis of what I like to look for. So it's like I can't just say it's based on one simple thing. It's not like, hey, it's just like a MACD cross. Like, no, that'd be pointless. Why would I pay somebody to build that for me? And it already exists, right? So it uses the easiest way to explain it is it uses multiple indicators and condenses them into one based on personal settings that I've found success in the markets. And yeah, like if there's like what do you want to know exactly about the algo? Yeah, Bruno, we do all want the edge. That's correct. That's what separates us from being a good trader, from being like the ones that always lose money. So honestly, it took a lot of time for me to get this built out. It was a lot of struggle. I definitely in the beginning did blow through some of my trading accounts, but then finally got the grasp of everything and then finally found success with it. But trust me, it is a process. But essentially, how it gives me the edge is it identifies exactly my buy, like my entry points, and then I know exactly where I need to exit as well, because I have the custom Fibonacci's. And what I'm working on right now is finding a way to be able to share this algo with everyone. I want people to use it. I want people to obviously make money from it. We're all in this together. So I'm currently working on a way to see if I can get this more accessible to people rather than just having it in my hands. But once this trade closes, I'm gonna see if I'm gonna pull up my algo and show you exactly how it works. Because I don't like to take my eyes off of the screen when I'm looking right now, especially with the ES. With stocks and everything, I'm fine with it. I swing trade stocks, so it's not like really I'm not worried about that. But with ES, I've realized that you need to watch it because in like the slightest moment, like it will either rip and just take you out completely. So I'm just like trying to lock in my profits as we go, trying to see if we can get to that 32, 33 level. That seems to be a nice level where volume is piling up for the sellers at least. So if we can break that, we can easily make it to 32, 35. And then if we can hold after 32, 35, I see it going to 32, 42, 50. But yeah, just give me like 2 minutes. Let's see if this trade completes. I'm just trying to take it off at 32, 33. And after that, I can easily pull up the algo and show you guys how it works. Or you know what? Let me just switch my screen. So let me just pull this away. Actually, no. 1 second. That has all my sticky notes on it. Okay, 1 second. Might just move this up a little bit, lock in 150 at least right here. I mean, we're in profit regardless, so I'll let it ride out. I'll pull up the algo right now and show you guys how it works. So essentially this is the algo. It'll give you buy and sell alerts, and what it does essentially is once all my criteria is met, you'll get a buy signal. And then the way you trade the algo is, I saw that it works best if you wait till you place an order 1 tick above whatever the algo signal was, right? So for this candle, it gave the buy signal, and the high of the candle was 32.2750. So I would always place my order at 1 tick above 32.2775, like you saw that I did. Sorry guys. And then what happens is from there, you draw out your Fibonacci's, right? So like I showed you guys before, all you have to do for Fibonacci's is you put the custom inputs in, and then it'll tell you the profit targets. Start at the bottom, take it to the top. And obviously, since this was a big move, it's gonna project a bigger move to the upside. So let me just scroll this down. So it's gonna provide me with my profit targets and my stop loss. So the red lines are my 2 stop losses, and the way I trade them is initially I'll put my stop loss at 32.1675, and then every time it hits one level, I'll move it up. But when it's a bigger move, I tend to ride the stops out because like I know it's trending up. And from there, depending on how many contracts I'm trading, I'll take one off at 32.35, the second off at 32.42.50, and then I'll try to take the third one off at 32.50. But yeah, normally the first profit level was like hit 95% of the time, or 90% of the time. And then the second level will always hit, depending on the move, right? Like, there's like big swings in the market, and we just got to try to catch them. And that's why this was built, to catch those big moves, because I remember in like the beginning with the ES, like I'd always like try to get in, and I didn't know where to take profit. I'd be like, oh, it's still gonna go up, it's still gonna go up, and then it reverses completely, and then that's why I had to build this out. It took me a while, but it's working great for me. And it's really that simple. Like I took everything that was like complicated. I had like so much stuff on my charts and just condensed it all into one. And now it's just nice and simple and easy to read. And if you're looking at the triangles, that's just indicating that price broke above that indicator right there. But that's really not useful. It's just personal preference. But yeah, it's really that simple. You get the buy alert, you put your stop order in at one tick above, and then from there, you just wait it out until it hits the targets. Or if you want to take it off at 2 points, just grab that quick 100. You can do you. Nothing wrong with that, because profit is still profit in my book. And most times, if I feel like the market is uncertain, like it was this week for the past 2 days, I've only taken $200 in profit each day because I didn't want to take that risk. Why do you want to expose yourself to more risk when you don't have to, right? And yeah. And essentially, like I was saying with the Fibonacci, it's like you'd start off at your stop loss right here. And then once it hits level 1, you move it to stop loss number 2 right here at 32.1925. And then once it hits level 2 over here, you move it to break even or even higher. And then, obviously you don't need to move it again because your break even doesn't matter. You're just going to let the trade run, and whatever happens at that point, depending on market conditions, obviously. But essentially this indicator and this algo is essentially just to tell you what direction the market's moving in. It'll tell you buy, it'll tell you sell, and it's just a matter of being patient sometimes, because sometimes it will take some time, but more times than not it works out perfectly. Sometimes they'll try to juke you out because like in like the first 15 minutes of the market you can get those big moves to the downside because they're trying to take all the sellers out real quick, and then they'll pump it right back up, so you want to watch out for that. But other than that, like I'll be streaming this live stream like every day that I can, and you guys can see it work in real time. I know that's like the best way to see stuff. Like I don't want to make a previous result or anything. Like all you guys see those people on YouTube, those YouTube ads, like they crack me up all the time. They're like, oh, look at all this. I'm like, okay, like I don't believe that because there's no way. But this is just take your profits. It's a nice system. It's built out. It doesn't require too much effort. It did in the beginning because I had to use I used multiple different indicators, but now it's became a much simpler process. I was able to streamline it finally. So yeah, I can show you the chart history. So one thing you want to watch out for with this indicator or algo, either one which you want to call it, is you want to watch out for consolidation. So it depends, right? On the 5-minute charts, it can come up at multiple times. It just depends on how often you want it, right? Like you can see right here, it'll give you sell signals, and you can see how we avoid this is essentially we put an order 1 tick lower than the sell signal, and from there we'll go. If it doesn't hit that price in the next 2 candles, we cancel our order and we move on, and then we wait for the next one. Same thing here. This was the part of the overnight session. Just kept going, and essentially you'd still just draw it out. Well, when you're selling, you start at the top and you go to the bottom, and you can see it's the first profit target level, second profit target level, and then third profit target level. It'll hit sometimes, it won't, but that's when you want to, you're already at break even, so it doesn't matter if you're writing that out. You can easily move your stop up to the second profit target level and take your profits. For whenever I'm trying to go for the third profit level, I highly suggest it's like a contract that you're just letting it ride out and that your trade is at break even already. And then for the first two, that's where I usually take most of my profits. But you can trade this in any time frame, right? You can do 15-minute or 1 second. I just want to go check on my trade again. I think our target was hit. Yep, our target was hit. We were able to lock in today. We had 2 contracts, total of 362. Average trade time was 14 minutes. And you guys saw that I just trust the system, man. Like, once you build out your system, you have to follow it. You have the plan, just follow it, and it'll work out, especially if you back tested everything. But here, let me just pull this up again. That way you guys can see. Yeah, so essentially it works in the 30 minutes. You can see nice big moves. You'll catch the trendings. 1 hour. So sometimes it can give you alerts back to back. Sometimes it'll take a while because it depends on the move, right? We're not just trying to force any trades. We're waiting for the setup to come that we want, and we're just gonna patiently wait for it. And like you could have seen, like even right here, like we got the signal. We place order at 32.1375, because that's 1 tick above, and then we would try to ride it out. And again, we use our Fibonacci's, and it tells us exactly where to take profit. And then you guys can see exactly how perfect it worked out. And yeah, sometimes it will go past the 3rd profit level, and that's a personal choice if you want to ride it out and move your stop loss to the 3rd profit level. But honestly, I think securing the bag is more important than anything. So if it hits it, I take it out. If it, you know what, if it even like shoots up like 100 points, I don't care, because at the end of the day, I said that was my plan, that was my profit target. I hit it, I'm happy. Because everyone knows that once you get greedy, that's when you start losing money. And you can see like how nice it just worked out, because like we wait for the next 2 candles, that's how much time we allow it. So even in the 1 hour, right, the next 2 candles, if it doesn't cross, we won't enter. And in this case, it crossed, we entered, and then from there we just kept riding it up. We had our stop loss down here, moved it up at take profit level number 1, moved it to the 2nd stop loss once it hit level 2, and then around level 2, if I see that, okay, it's a nice momentum move, I want to lock everything in, I will move my stop loss up to 32.26 and like the first profit target level, because that way I'm in profit, and then I'll just try to ride the wave out. Because it depends on how many alerts you want, right? If you look at the hourly or 4 hour or daily, like today, we got this alert right here around 8 a.m. in the hourly time frame. And if we go exactly towards this, we can see exactly how well the system works and see, will it hit 32.3375? And then you guys can tell me, like, you guys can come back tomorrow and see how it works, right? I'll leave this up, that way you guys can see it. And first profit target level, 32.3375. And how big of a move would that be? That's about 7.75. So let's do the math real quick. Just say if I normally trade 2 contracts, so 7.75 times 50, because 1 point times 2, you would have made 775 just from going for the first target. And then you have the second target, which is double that, essentially, 15.25, and then third target's 23 points. So when you're doing the hourly, it's all about just patience and waiting it out. You have your set stop losses, and you just kind of have to pay attention to it. And again, this was, let me just take this off because this is the 1 hour. this was the move for today, right? In the 5 minutes, we're looking to go to 32.35. Let me get my water real quick. So Harry, I don't understand what you mean. Like, these Fibonacci's work as my support and resistance levels, essentially, because all Fibonacci's are essentially doing is creating support and resistance levels based on a mathematical formula. So I use these as support and resistance levels because that's how they work. Like I have my support and basic support and level resistance levels. As you can see, like the yellow line is going to be the 200 EMA. You can put that on your chart so you can easily tell which way the trend's going. And then I will also look for like normal support and level resistance levels where it's like making newer highs or lower lows and see if the price has been consolidating. And whenever I do support and resistance levels, it's not just a single price level, it's going to be a zone. Because you have to keep that in mind. A lot of people mess up thinking support and resistance is always just a single price. Oh, it has to hit that and it'll reverse. No, it's a price zone. It can be a couple points. Sometimes it can be more than that. But it's where the price has been pretty much stagnant for a while. And that's where you have your resistance or support zones. Like, did that clear it up a little bit or no? Because if not, I'm more than happy to clear it up. Yeah, with trading, I realized the best way to go, for me at least, right, is to take the most mathematical approach possible. That's why I like using the Fibonacci levels, because they provide a measured move instead of just me like guessing, oh, the price can go all the way up here, oh, the price can go like to the moon, essentially, like jump up 100 points. Instead of waiting for those like home run plays that everyone likes to see on YouTube and go for that, I like to go for consistent results, just lock in my profits, follow my profit levels, and just go from there. And then I'll also watch the market and see how it's playing out, and then obviously there's price action involved. I try to read the candles and see how they're performing and go from there. Because if I feel like the price is ever becoming stagnant and entering consolidation, I will close it out. I don't care, because like in my experience, consolidation is when I lost the most amount of money. Like I keep a log of all my trades and then see where I'm messing up, and I'll leave a little note and I'll be like, why did I lose? And it'll be like, oh, the market consolidated. So it's like I pick up on the trends and see how many times did I lose money because of consolidation, and it was a good amount of times. And that's when I decided, okay, from now on, it's like if it's consolidating, I'm out of the trade, because it's not worth my time to risk myself, because I know I lose a lot of money when the market's consolidating. That's why I'm always looking for nice momentum moves, and this provides me with the signals for the momentum moves, essentially. And right now you can see price is becoming stagnant a little bit. So right now my stop loss for this, if I was still in the trade, it would have been right here at 32.30.25, and after that I'd be like, whatever happens, because I'm still in profit at that point, and I can let it run. Because you can see like the price right now right over here. It's becoming indecisive, right? Right here. A little doji candle, another doji candle, and then buyers are starting to step in a little bit. So I think probably in the next 15-20 minutes it can hit 32.35, but I got on my trade because I felt like it was a good profit area, and it pretty much, I took it out exactly at the high today, right about here, 32.33. yeah. And then yeah, I mean, like, sometimes you just got to pay attention to how it's happening, right? If it's going to be a double top, I'll be paying attention to that. If it can't break the double top, I'll be like, okay, that's a good indication of a nice little reversal. So you have to pay attention to price action all the time. That's just part of trading. But the whole point is algo is to give me proper entry points, and then the part of the Fibonacci combined with the algo is to give me the exact exit points that I want to take. But you always have to adapt to market conditions. So Bruno, yeah, it does work for MES here, like because MES and ES are exactly the same. Micros. So you can see the chart setup for MES and ES is the exact same way, and again, this chart right now is for the MES, and even for the MES, it's going to give you. It's going to be slightly different numbers, maybe like a point or a tick off because MES is calculated differently. But you can see, like, before our profit target was 32.35, but in this one it's going to be 32.34.75, and it's moving exactly the way it was before. So you can definitely use it for MES as well. That's why I'm trying to work on getting it out to the public and having them use it, and I'm working on that very soon, and I can easily update you guys once it's available. Harry, that's kind of weird that somebody's told you to wait for consolidation, because usually when consolidation happens, right, it literally means that buyers and sellers don't know where they want the market to go. So if you're getting in on a consolidation play, it's pretty much a high risk play. So it's like, for me, I don't want to take high risk plays. I'm more conservative with my money. I want my profits. I want to make sure they're locked in. So I'm not gonna that's just my personal experience, right? Consolidation has never worked for me. I've lost money. Unless he was talking about essentially saying, unless you're talking about like a range bound, because if it's a range bound, yes, you can trade through a range bound, but range bound isn't consolidation, right? Range bound is continuously going up and then down and then up and then down, but in the same area. Consolidation is just where the price is bouncing back and forth in a very minimal price point. So for the ES, I would just say, like, if it's just bouncing back and forth between the same 5 points from, like, say 32.20 to 32.25, that would be considered consolidation, because they can't break out of that range, and it could go either way once it breaks out. So why would you want to be stuck in that, not knowing which way it's going to break out, right? And let me know if you tried having only trading through consolidation and it worked for you. That's amazing, man. Like, props to you, because that thing has kicked my butt more than enough times for me to say I'm not touching consolidation. But hey, man, there's a million ways to make profits in trading. I'm just making one in my way that works for me, and it's been helping a couple of other people as well. But just trying to grow and get that awareness to people. And it's nice to have you guys on the stream with me right now. I really appreciate it, because it's nice to answer people's questions, be interactive a little bit, because normally it's just like, I'm just at my desk, just trading, just like kind of focused on the chart all the time. But now it's like, it's nice to change stuff up a little bit. So I appreciate that. Let me see what you guys were saying. So for the algo, I am trying to make it available probably in the next couple of weeks. It does take time to set up, but yeah, I can't just say, oh, it's gonna be done in a week, because I know it's not gonna be done in a week. I'd say at least like 2 to 3 weeks at least, because I am busy with some other stuff going on at the moment too. So it's like, how much time can I give it to speed up the process? But my plan is at least have it done by the next 3 weeks and have everything set up. Thanks, Bruno. Thanks for joining. What indicators does your algo look at, and does it look at volume, market orders, and limit orders? So it does look at volume, but it does not look at market orders and limit orders. Because personally, like, I look at what the candlestick is telling me, right? It also looks at what the candlestick itself is doing with the volume and seeing like what type of momentum is coming in. And then that's how, like, that's part of it, essentially. And with that, that's why it's like, I don't use market orders, because it's too, it'll throw too many things off. I haven't been able to figure out the market order aspect of incorporating that into this. So I left it out, and it still works pretty great, because I use the volume, I use some EMAs to test it out, as well as like I'll look at some, the MACD is like a small portion of it, but I don't put heavy parts into it. It's just like a backdrop, like it's a small filter to it, but like sorry. I think after talking for so long, I think my throat's just kind of giving up. But yeah, it uses multiple indicators. Like, it just combines some, like I'm not the best at explaining like all of that. I'm more better at explaining how strategies work and how like you can trade, rather than just like get into the technical side of how the coding was built for it. So yeah, I'm sorry about that, but and like you guys said, it is an edge, right? So it's like you can't just give up all your secrets at once, but you can get access to. That's why I'm trying to build access to it, because obviously I know there's a lot of people out there just like, if you give them everything, they'll probably try to take you and like rip you off. But right now, looking back to exactly where our profit target levels were, here, let me just pull up the chart again for you guys. Sorry, you gotta go to ES. And you guys can see that we got alerted right here. Like I said before, that's when I got into my trade, one tick above. And then right now it's going all the way up to 32.35. And most likely it will hit. It's just a matter of time and being patient with it. And like I said before, even if we moved our stop loss right here, we could have wrote it out, and that's a personal choice. For me, I was happy with the profit right here, because I know the market conditions for this week aren't looking that great. It's just until earnings happen on Thursday for like all the big tech companies, we'll see big momentum come in there, big volume come in there, and nice swings. So I'm waiting for that to happen. But until then, like before that, just based on previous experience and previous history, earnings week, sometimes the futures market tends to be a bit slower, because there's not too much volume, there's not too much bias to which way the market wants to be pushed. Are the buyers going to step in, or the sellers going to step in? Everyone's kind of just like in a mixed feeling, right? Because they know earnings are going to affect the market a lot. Well, I'm gonna see if, let's see. How's the NQ doing? I mean, if we can get like a nice pump up, like a quick pump, I'll try to short it right at like the 10.658 level, just for a nice quick 5-point scalp. But we'll see. Everything's just moving slowly at this point. But there is heavy volume on the ES, which is very surprising, but it's funny to see that there's volume on both sides. But yeah, just to recap today, like we took our trade, we took our profits. Obviously, we only took one trade, 2 different contracts, 2 different levels. Won both of them. One was for $100, and then the other one was for $262.50. Total time, average time was 14 minutes. Longest trade was 22 minutes. And after commissions and everything, total profit was $355.10. And for about 20 minutes, I think that's a good return for 20 minutes. Especially considering this is just the futures market, right? Because I will swing trade stocks and everything. Like me personally, I like to swing trade TQQQ and FNGU. Both are ETFs. TQQQ, obviously, if you know about it, it's a 3x leverage share, and you get nice returns on that. And then sometimes I'll be buying options for them as well, but right now for the live stream, not to get everything mixed up, I'm just going to be showing the futures aspect, because I feel like when you're starting out, or if you're just trading futures, it's a good way to bring in some nice income. Yeah, Harry, I plan on streaming about every morning. I'll probably open up the stream around 9:20, but if you guys want to, if you want me to hop on at 8:30 or so, I'm more than happy to, just to talk, get some pre-market ideas in. We can all discuss, we can all help each other out, and then go from there. But for right now, I'm gonna open up the stream at 9:20, and then most likely it's gonna go till 11:30, because that's where I find the best movements, 9:30 to 11:30, or sometimes it's going to be shorter because I might have some meetings I have to go to afterwards, because I do real estate on the side, so it kind of pulls me away sometimes. But other than that, most days I will be here. And the reason I cap it at 11:30 is because after 11:30, market slows down, everyone goes to lunch, comes back, and the movements aren't really there. Sometimes there are, but again, I do a mathematical approach, right? I looked at, okay, when I was trading the whole day, was I actually winning more or was I winning less, right? Would I give my profits away? And yeah, when I was trading that, my profits would go away. It was in the afternoon session. So I was like, when did I find my most, the best profits? It was between 9:30 and 11:30. That's when the volume's there. That's when the moves are there. It's when the big swings happen. Just like this one, right? Like we said, our algo alerted us right here. Boom, 32.2750. Got in one tick higher. And if you stayed in, you could have went to 32.35, and that would have been $7.5 points. So if I stayed in it, I would have essentially made what? 7.5 times 50, 375 times 2. So if I stayed in, I would have made 750, which is cool. But again, I was trying to play it safe, and I'm still happy because, hey man, profit's profit, right? Thanks, guys. I'll be here every morning that I can, and yeah, join me on the Discord. We can always chat there if you guys have questions when I'm not online streaming. Like, this stream is just for entertainment purposes as well as educating people about how they can trade, or they can follow me if they want to. Like, if they want to follow my trades, that's that's always up to you. You got to do your own due diligence always when you're investing. But yeah, this stream I started just to have some fun, like talk to people, interact with some people again. So obviously, COVID kind of just slowed everything down. You can't really step out too much. But yeah, it's nice. It's nice to have both of you, Bruno and Harry, on the stream, asking questions, talking. Like, I like that. So I appreciate you guys. And if you guys have any questions about the markets, like, let me know. And let me know right now, like, how long have you guys been trading? Like, just drop it in the chat. So Harry, the reason I like Top Step is because I can play around with it and I don't have to risk my own money. I passed their combines, I got funded from them, and essentially, like, when somebody says, hey, you can trade with my money, you don't have to risk any of your money, like, that opens up the playing field so much, because first, your emotions go out of it because you're not emotionally attached to that money as you would be if it was your own personal funds, right? And if you have a lot of funds and you want to trade with your own money, you can. Then you would save that 20%. But as long as you have your strategy working for you and profitable, then yeah, by all means, you can trade on your own platform and with your own money. But like, if you're still trying to save, you're figuring stuff out, or you just want to use another person's money and not have to risk your own money, and then you use that your own capital to invest into like stocks and your options and have those swing trades going, because that's what I do. I use my funds, my personal funds, to invest in stocks. I buy some options, I'll be swing trading them using the same algo system. And then for futures, I use Top Step's money because, well, like, it's risk free essentially, because like what my total expenses for Top Step was about like a couple hundred, because the essential first combine and maybe like what was it, like a 125, like the monthly fee. So I think when I first started it a while back, I did it for like, I remember I blew it up the first time and then redid it and then passed it then. So it took me like a month and a half to pass them, and from there I've just been going from there. And yeah, I think honestly, like, why would you want to risk your own money, right? So yeah, if you've been trading for just a few months and not much progress, then yeah, try Top Step out. Try them out and see if you like them. Their interface is really cool, and I like the fact that they use they're partnered up with Tradeovate, and they have the bracket system, so you can essentially, if I could show you guys right now here, I can place my brackets, right? The minute I place an order, it has my stop losses set in place, it has my take profits set in place, which I can move on the charts. And I just love that aspect, and like, other brokers don't have that ability. I know NinjaTrader does, but then I was like, at one point I was like trading futures with my own money with AMP Global and like other companies, and they were good, but I think this interface and the fact that I get to use other people's money to trade and not have to risk my own is quite frankly just awesome. So yeah, I know about Ross Cameron. It's he's part of Warrior Trading, and yeah, he goes for those penny stocks and the very volatile stocks. And I looked into him when I first started out, and I was just like, no, this is not gonna work for me, because more times than not, most people have lost money because they tried to play those volatility stocks without having any experience. If you want to trade the volatility, you have to have like a couple years of experience under your belt to understand what's actually happening, because there's a lot of stuff that moves them. And yeah, Trades by Matt, you don't really like his style. Okay, like that's cool too. Like I think Trades by Matt, he seems like a pretty cool dude. I watch his streams sometimes, and he's chill. But I think he takes a bit too much of a drawdown sometimes, which, hey, that's his own trading style. Everybody has their own trading style. With me personally, I try to limit my losses and then just try to grab quick profits, and then I'm just done. And yeah, man. Yeah, if you started 3 years ago, too volatile. Let's see. My personal opinion would be test some other strategies out that might work for you. Don't go for the volatility plays. Go for the momentum plays. Get the slow movers. Because honestly, man, like if you even get 1 to 2% growth in your account every day, trust me, you will make a tremendous amount of money down the line. It's just that a lot of people don't want just that 1-2%. And that's where they struggle. Because like, remember the concept of compounding interest where your money keeps earning on money? Because if you take even $5,000 and keep reinvesting it, right, you will earn a shit ton of money over time, but the initial startup phase is what takes time. Like people always try to rush the process, and that's when they get burned. That's why they say 90% of traders fail, because you can't just expect to win 1,000% or 100% every single day. That's just not possible. If that was possible, you don't think the banks would be on top of it with all like their hedge funds and everything? Like they got all the system and the resources that available to them, and an unlimited amount of money, it seems like. But they would have had that system going for them if they can make 100% a day, right? That's why, like I say, like stay away from those people that promise you those like ridiculous returns. Like, oh, I made like 10,000% in like one day, or 2,000% in one day. Yes, there's some cases where some people do that with options. Yes, I know it can be possible, but it's not sustainable. And that's what you want to worry about with trading. Sustainable. You want to worry about how consistent you are with trading. How can you bring in, even if you can bring $100, $200, $300 a day, that adds up. You say if you got $400 a day, that's 100K salary right there. These 250 trading days in a year, $400 a day, that's 100K. Let me see these questions real quick. Do you think Top Step trading rules is more for high probability scalpers versus position traders that's not so high in probability? So Top Step is built around scalping because you can't hold past certain times. So you can't, obviously, when the market's closes at about 4 o'clock, for futures market is around 5, but they tell you to stop like 2 hours or like an hour before. I'm never trading by that time, so it never bothered me or never cared about it. But overall, it is built for scalping. But with futures, you want to be scalping. You don't want to go for these big plays unless you have like tremendous amount of capital, because there's going to be a big drawdown for it. Because you're going to be risking like 20-30 points to make how much? Because like sometimes it can be stagnant and you don't want to deal with that. That's why I go for these quick 2, 3, 5, 7 point plays, and we're done, because that's all we need to do to be profitable. So scalping for futures is probably the best way. That's my opinion, because that's where I found profits. That's where I've been making an income from. And yeah, like I don't swing trade futures. I think it's kind of ridiculous to swing trade them, because of a random news event, random market news event, like it can tank in an instant. And sometimes even if you have your stop losses, like it won't hit the exact stop and you'll get dropped down. And we saw what happened with Corona and everything. We had the circuit breakers get hit. And it's been a while since any of the circuit breakers were hit, man. Like that was like some crazy times. It's like the market essentially froze, right? And okay, let me go to so Bruno, I'm just looking for that $200 a day. I'm not profitable yet. Yeah, man, I would highly suggest that take it slow, man. Like you can, if before start out making. Are you just Bruno? Are you just trading futures, or are you trading stocks as well? Like, what are you looking for the $200 a day from? Right. With futures, it's easily possible. Like, you just saw me do it in about 20 minutes. It didn't require too much. Followed the system. I was done. So it's like, let me know like how long. Like, what are you trading? Do you want to just trade futures, or are you just trading? Do you want like overall stocks and everything? It's like with futures, 2 points with one contract is $100, and then another like 2 contracts is $200 right there. So yeah, so you're saying just futures right now? Perfect. $200 a day, easily doable, man. You can do that through Top Step if you wanted to, or do your personal account. It's up to you. I don't really push anything on anyone. I would just suggest that take it slow, and if you have a trading plan, perfect. Follow it if it's been working. If not, then if you want, just hit me up in the Discord, and later today I can like personally chat with you a little bit. And I have created my own template for a trading plan. I'll send that to you if you want. You can use it to build your trading plan if you don't have one, or if you want to like update your trading plan and go from there. Because honestly, if you need to have a trading plan to get that $200 a day or any amount of money, right? It's all about consistency. And with trading, all you're doing is following a set of rules and just going from there. Like, a lot of people can't follow rules. That's why like they lose money, because they're like, oh, it's gonna go up. Because with trading, it releases that little dopamine effect in your brain where you feel like excited, and you try to kind of lose a bit of conscience and exactly what's happening sometimes, because you're so excited about, oh man, I'm winning money, like it's great. You got to cut that emotion out. You make money, you lose money, it's whatever. You're here just to get that income going, to get that freedom going, because once you start developing and you start building your account, you'll get your profits, you'll raise your profits. But first you go for that $100 a day, then after like a couple weeks you go to $200 a day as your target, and then you go a couple weeks and then $300 a day, and you keep increasing. And a lot of people just want to skip that step, and that's why I say like, dude, just start small, keep growing, and then go from there. Yeah, you can scalp 5 ticks on the MES pretty easily, and it'll work out great. MES is a perfect place to get started, especially because like sometimes I know the ES, like if you don't know what you're doing exactly, like its drawdown can take your account down completely. That's what happened to me the first time I tested futures. I was like, this is so exciting. I was there, and boom, like I think I made like a couple thousand like the first week, and then next week I went back, and then boom, like in a matter of like 2 minutes, the market just tanked. I forgot for what reason. I think there was a big news event or something happened, or Trump tweets, right? Back then, Trump tweets were such a big deal, and I wasn't like keeping up with it too much, and it tanked. Lost a couple thousand in like 2 minutes. I was like, God damn. I was so pissed, but honestly, I learned my biggest lesson from there. Like, that's when I built everything out. Just said, hey, be disciplined, follow your rules, and you'll be consistently profitable. So yeah, I honestly believe you can make $200 a day just trading futures, like especially just the ES. You just have to be patient and wait. That's my biggest tip. But yeah, if you want, you can just hit me up. We can talk about it. I can send you over my trading plan template, and you can use that to build your trading plan, and we can see what works for you. If you want to use the same strategies that I'm using, perfect, go for it. It's up to you. But if you just want help developing your strategies, more than happy to help, man. And then let me see, I think I can answer one of Harry's questions. No, I got Harry's questions. So for Harry, like you said you were trading for a few months with trading, like did you get all your fundamentals in place and everything? Because like I think that's one of the biggest parts where traders get attracted to making that money and not focusing on the fundamentals, right? And that's where they get tripped up a lot, and that's where they start losing money. And you really have to focus on your fundamentals, man. You have to learn exactly what the market is, like what is happening in the market. And this is exactly why I know a lot of people that are new to trading, especially because of COVID, because everyone's at work at home and they finally have that time to get on the computer, trade a little bit. So it's like, if you're one of those, or just anyone, right, just new to trading, don't spend your money on a trading course or anything. Like, I remember I took one of them, like a couple of them, and paid for them, fell for their marketing tactics, and I was like, this information didn't really help me out too much. Like, this is stuff I already knew, or this is stuff I'd like, this is something I wouldn't have to pay for, right? And that's why, like, I was so annoyed at them that I went out and created my own course, completely free. It's in one of the Discord channel. It's under, what's it called? If you're in the Discord, there's a link to it. It's under the member lounge free course. It's completely free, man. Like, you guys can take it if you want. Covers all the fundamentals you should know. Talks about basic, simple strategies that you can test out and use when you're starting out, and then we can build on top of that. Check it out if you just want to learn. Watch a couple videos. It's about 5 hours, so I put a lot of time into it, and I had to re-record myself a couple times. But yeah, it's completely free, man. I simply made it just because I didn't want people getting scammed out and just losing money, because like they're following all these fake gurus. It's like just promoting their course without any real information. So I put all the stuff that you need to know. Talks about all the indicators, as well as strategies that you can build, your trading plan, your risk management, understanding trading psychology, everything. And definitely check it out if you want to. Again, like I said, I'm not going to be pushing stuff on you guys. It's just, if it helps you guys, I'm more than happy. But if you don't want it, it's up to you. It's your choice at the end of the day, right? So let me see. I just try to look for good levels and order flow. So yeah, if you're just looking to find out good levels and everything, in the course itself, there's 2 videos for support and resistance levels and how you can find them exactly, and then how you can use the Fibonacci's as the support and resistance levels as well. Not the profit taking ones that I talked about, but actual just normal Fibonacci's, and how you can place them out to see where the levels would be and where the price reacts. And you can use that. Those videos aren't too long. I don't think so. I think the videos are at least like 20 minutes long for each one, because I wanted to explain them, show you examples and everything. So yeah, they're in the course, man. It's free. Like, you can check it out if you want. It's support and resistance levels are a great way to trade. It essentially, all it's based off is on price, and price is one thing that's constant between all indicators, regardless of what you're using. What are we trading? Price. That's why they talk about price action and talk about volume and see like how candlesticks are working, because they all tell you the same things. You can use indicators to make your life easier, but it's just a way of how do you use those indicators, because these indicators, like, there's a way to make profit on all of them. It's just a matter of figuring out exactly in what conditions does this profit me, in what conditions can I bring those big returns, right? That's what you want to be like. That's what you want to figure out. A lot of people just look at indicators and be like, oh, it didn't work this time. Oh, this is a shitty indicator. I'm like, no, like, that's what I thought in the beginning, back in like 2014. But after that, I realized like these indicators work, but you just have to play with them, figure out what works for you, your trading style, what you're trying to go for, and then use it that way, and then be strict with it, right? Back test it. Obviously, you have to back test everything. If you don't back test, you're just setting yourself up for failure. Like, you can't just say, oh, this worked one time, like, let me go just put my real money into it. Like, get your paper trading account out, go back like a year, start testing it out, sit there, spend some hours, spend some days back testing. I spent countless days back testing stuff, and this algo as well, to see like all the results and everything. Let's see. Yeah, sorry if I keep looking this way because like the YouTube questions are all on like my third screen on the right, and my camera is like all the way over here. So I'm just trying to see the stream. And for Harry, the order flow, the easiest way to track that, man, is just look at your volume bars and see if it's breaking above the previous levels, right? So if, let me see. Like for the ES, I have the volume histogram right here on the right over here. And you can see the volume nodes on where the price was traded the most and where the volume was like high. And essentially what you want to do is, even in TradingView or anything, just get the volume bars out and just see how much volume there is, and that's how you can track the order flow, because it'll tell you, okay, like, hey, green volume bar, that means buyers are in control at that moment, but did the volume break above the previous volume bar, right? That's what you want to look for if you're looking for order flow, because that shows a nice trend and everything. So right now, yeah, the market is just ranging, but there's not just two kinds of market conditions. There's multiple types of market conditions. Yes, you have the ranging. It's just jumping back and forth between the price. And then you have the channels where it's like going up and just going like completely like that. But then you have to remember there's the nice swing conditions, like the swing markets, where it's like full blast off, right? It's just going up, like, so that's one. That's where the breakouts happen, and like there's a consolidation. Ranging and consolidation, in my opinion, is different, because ranging, it has a complete range. Like, say from like $10 to $1, it's gonna go up and down. Consolidation is a completely different market, of where price is just bouncing back up and down between the same price points. And a lot of people, again, like I said before, they confuse that with ranging. A range market can be traded pretty easily because you know exactly where the top is, their high, and you know exactly where their low is. But with consolidation, it's literally just bouncing right back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. Like, so in that same range of $1 to $10, right? You'll have consolidation happen in the range where it's just bouncing back at from $6 to $5, $6 to $5. Then it's going to be like $5.75 to $5.20, $5.75 to $5.20. Like, it's just bouncing back and forth. That's my opinion of the consolidation versus the range. And you have to remember, like, there's not just two market conditions. That's my opinion. You're welcome to have your opinion, man. Like, I don't mind. But yeah. But volatility does make a big difference in the market. As we saw this year, if you guys have been looking at the charts, your charts for the past couple of months, you've seen the crazy volatility. Like, it's definitely been something I have had to adjust to a good amount, but I got the hang of it again, because like, it's been a while since this type of volatility existed. Okay, Bruno, I'll see you tomorrow. I'll be here. Enjoy the course, enjoy the Discord. Just hit me up, man. I'm happy to talk. And if you want the updates, just hit the subscribe button and the like button, and then you can hit the alerts if there is there. I feel like there should be. But yeah, I'm new to YouTube, just trying to help people out. So I still got to figure a lot of stuff out. And if there's any issues with the audio or anything like that, just please let me know. I will fix it. And if you want the updates, just hit the subscribe button. But yeah, guys, I think for today, our move was pretty much done. I don't see anything else happening. It can easily probably go back up to 32.42.75. Where you're gonna have to see again. Right now, it's like the price is just consolidating in the short-term period. But right now, it's swinging up. So it's just a matter of time to see what happens. But obviously, we took our profits. We're done for the day. It's like it's 11:16 right now. Probably in 15 minutes, I will hop off. But yeah, the market had its move, made its nice extension point. NQ is starting to slow down a little bit. You can see like these candles right here making lower wicks every time. So we'll see what happens. But other than that, it's a good day. So far this week has been pretty good. Consistent profits, 200, 200, 365 today. I'll probably just look into some swing plays for some stocks and everything. But for ES, for the futures, I'm happy with that. But yeah, Harry, I think if you haven't built out a trading plan yet, definitely build out a trading plan, man. Like I said to Bruno, like you can definitely just hit me up. I'm more than happy to help you. I have the template available in the course itself if you want to just go download it from there. And a lot of people have liked the course. I got some good feedback from it, so I'm happy about that. And if you do too, like let me know. Write a little review. So yeah, check it out. I'm pretty sure it'll help you out, especially if you are a new trader. It does cover all the fundamentals you should know as a trader and everything that you should be paying attention to. And then if you want, just join the Discord. You can chat with us at any time. And I'm trying to grow that community so that there's more people that are very interested in the market to help each other out. I want it to be a community where we help each other out, and it's just not like, hey, one person's just like, hey, just do this. Like, it's like, help each other out, help each other grow, right? That's what we're all here for. And then if you like the streams, like, help me out, like, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, and then I'll be here every morning, and share it with your friends. Like, we can get them going too. It'll be nice to have, so you can talk to your friends at the same time, like I can explain it to them. So it's nice. Like, I think that's why I like the YouTube aspect of live streaming. I was kind of nervous to do it in the beginning because I'm not really an extroverted person that's like loves talking too much. But like, yeah, like I'm one introvert extrovert. So essentially, like when I'm in person with somebody or one-on-one with somebody, I will talk. But like in a group setting, I might be like a little bit shy. But I think right now, hopefully, I'm doing pretty good. But yeah, man, like I said, just check out the video course. Tell me how it goes. If you want me to add specific videos and make videos on specific topics that you probably think like, oh, this should be in here, or I want to learn more about this, let me know. I'm more than happy to create a video on it. I've been in the market for plenty of years and read a lot of books, watched a lot of videos, learned a lot. So pretty much most questions I have the answers to, but some questions obviously won't have the answers to, but I'll be able to figure it out and explain it to you. Even if I don't, like, I'll figure it out, I'll do some research for you and help you out. But yeah, today we hit our target. Algo worked perfectly. And for the ES, like, one thing about the Algo is like I just trade it in the mornings. Like, you can see like all the alerts in the overnight session and everything, but I feel like the best results are the morning sessions and sometimes in the afternoons, like right before market close. But by then we don't trade because one, Top Step won't let us trade right before market close, and two, it's where we lose the most money. So we just got to keep the odds in our favor. And honestly, I think today we might be able to make a nice push to 32.42. Because looking at the market condition, right, it consolidated just a tiny bit here. So that it had to get the sellers taken out. So did that and then started moving up again. Hit the level. And that's why I say, like, these are all measured moves, and you can see how they work as like a support and resistance levels, right? So like they got here, what'd they do? They bounced off of it to the downside a little bit, and now we have to see, are we gonna keep continuing, or can we break above and keep going? So whenever you're trading, you have to keep in mind, you have to be prepared for both sides of the market. You can't just make your own prediction saying, oh, the market's just gonna go up today. Like, that's okay. Like, you have to be prepared for both sides. Like, what are you gonna do if it's gonna go down on you? What are you gonna do if it's gonna go up? Because we all know the markets are controlled by the big banks, the big institutions. We're just here to catch our little moves and then get out. We're not market makers. We're just market takers. Yeah, I think for today I might just have to wrap it up because we got our profits. We're done. I'll go look at some stocks and everything in a little bit, but see if I can make some swings. But for futures, we're done for today. I'm not gonna touch it anymore. I'm done. My morning session times are done. And yeah. So Harry, Mustafa, peace out, guys. Have a nice day. Enjoy your day if you have nice weather right now, because right now it's nice and sunny. So I'll have to be outside today, but yeah, enjoy your day, guys. I'll see you guys